All right, episode 32 of Between Two Wheels podcast, cycling news, commentary, analysis, and interviews from Northern California. This episode is brought to you by Health IQ, an insurance company that helps health-conscious people get special life insurance rates. Go to healthiq.com/BTW to support the show and learn more. Once again, welcome everyone to the Between Two Wheels podcast. I'm Tyler Janke here with Curt Mills. Curt, how you doing?
Good, Tyler.
Okay, I'm glad you said good, because if you weren't, I wasn't prepared to go down the other route. But Chris Flower, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Great. And as last week, we started off with doing a little team roster analysis, breakdown of different teams. And we did Team Thirsty Bear. And this week we have Matt Tufts of the, let me see if I get it right, the Oak Valley Bank Cycling Team. How's that?
Very close.
Okay, Matt, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We will be known as the Oak Valley Community Bank Elite Cycling Team.
Community. See, that's the important part.
You got to have community.
Yeah, and welcome to our community here. Hope you enjoy the drinks. We got coffee. We've got some beer. Curt, you can join in and drink as well. Or did you bring anything?
We saved you a good beer.
I didn't bring anything. Is there's stuff in the cooler?
At your feet there.
Okay.
Stuff in the cooler. It's not any beer you probably want. I'm cleaning out my an empty
bottle.
Sorry, I left that for you.
Okay.
I'm cleaning out the refrigerator from when the team came over, and there was a bunch of beer that nobody wanted.
So these are from July.
No, that was in November.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let's get, first of all, Matt, you are I believe a Cat 1, Cat 2?
Cat 2.
Cat 2, okay. Making your progress up. You've been racing for numerous amount of years, right? I mean, give us a little breakdown of you, first of all, and then we'll talk about your roster and everything else.
Okay, well, I started racing in 2006, and it was mostly just a local 3-race-a-year kind of thing. So I did that for a number of years. As one of those guys that was the career Cat 4 for a good long time. And then I want to say in 2011, 12, right around there, upgraded to 3 and just kind of just slowly working progressions, just having a good time racing the bike and racing a little bit more every year, but, never had any big ambitions of going pro since I didn't really start till I was 27 or 8. So I started pretty late in the game.
How did you get into that? It's always an interesting story to hear how someone gets into cycling, and because for most of us growing up in the U.S. as we do, it's basketball, baseball, football, music. I know you're big into music. So how did you get into the bike world?
So the bike world, basically, my little brother Kevin got me into it. He just said, I started riding this mountain bike with road tires on it, and it's been really fun. I like to go up a hill and see how fast I can go up it, and then ride along and see another steep hill and go, hey, I wonder how fast I can go up that, And so he got me on a bike, and so I started doing that. And I think like the first ride we ever did together, he took me out Salmon Falls Road out to the Rhino, and I don't think I made it all the way.
This is your first bike ride? That's pretty rough.
Well, yeah, it was.
That sounds like something Kevin would do.
Well,
that's a brother.
Yeah, I was riding this specialized hard rock, hardtail, rigid everything. We put some road tires on it, but they were like, I don't know, probably they were just monstrous tires. But it was all I could do just to make it, out of the confluence a little bit of the gorge there from the bridge, and did not make it. And Kevin's just like, we're almost there. I promise you can make it. And so I'm in this triple spinning my way, and that was my intro. And it's funny now that, when I'm in shape, I can do that climb in, less than 17 minutes instead of an hour, so.
Yeah. Did you guys start at the bridge, or did you start closer to Green Valley? Because you still got a long way to get back if you start at Green Valley. That's a mean first ride.
Yeah, no, it was brutal. It was brutal. No, I really can't remember where we started. We probably parked at that Safeway right there at Francisco and Green Valley, if I had to guess. But it was a while ago. That was back in probably 2004 or 5. My youngest wasn't even born yet. So, just not racing at all. This is just riding, and then we met up with the Bicycle Planet crew, bought a bike or two from them. They said, we're starting the cycling team, and these guys would go out and just thrash us. And we're just like, why? Well, why are we getting thrashed? And they're like, well, if you want to get better, you got to race. That's how we do it. We just race, and we practice for racing and train and all that. And so that's where the racing bug started, and just kind of progressed from there.
And do you remember what your first race was?
If I had to guess, it would probably be the Folsom Crit. because I had a rule of, keeping it local, keeping it super local. If I had to drive longer than the race lasted, I wasn't going to go to that race.
So yeah, the Folsom was about your only bet.
Yeah. I was living in Cameron Park at the time, so yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so then you went into I remember racing against you with the lead out team, and you guys is you and your brother John Novikov and Matt Dillon. Is that
Jeff Dillon?
Jeff Dillon. Sorry,
Matt
Jeff.
Dillon's the actor, I believe.
Yeah, Jeff wouldn't mind me comparing him, would he? I don't know.
I doubt it.
And you guys, there's one of my favorite videos on there of the threes where you take control of the Folsom race, and I think you go 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 4. It's amazing lead out, and it's pretty awesome to watch. You guys had a good season that year.
That was looking back on it, probably the most fun year of bike racing we had, because it was just it was great to be a part of a group of guys that you knew at any given day everyone was willing to race for the other, and I will sacrifice my race so that you can win. And when you're on a team like that, it's so much fun, and we were able to do it because we were racing Category 3 at the time, and in the threes, teamwork is few and far between. You don't find a lot of that where a whole team will get together and race like a team. Everyone's there trying to get upgrade points, race them for themselves, and unless you're ridiculously talented and strong, it's hard to upgrade and win races. When you're going against a team like we were. And, we had a great season where I think entered 12 races and won 10 of them, when we had all 4 of us together. It was great. So, it was just a lot of fun, but
and that was spread out too. It wasn't just one person winning all those races. Like the one I was just talking about, Jeff won.
Correct.
And yet you guys were all upgrading similarly at the same time. So.
Yeah. I mean, we had our plan. We wanted to just work for each other, and we just picked the person closest to upgrading to a 2. And that was, I believe, John at the time. And so we worked for John until he got his upgrade points. And then we worked for Kevin, and he got his upgrade points. And then I was next, and then Jeff. And we all upgraded to 2 that year, just in those 12 races by, just working for each other. And it was just a lot of fun. It was just so much fun knowing that you could count on a teammate and the teammates could count on you. And even when you didn't win, that you contributed to that race, and your effort, made a difference in the outcome of the race.
Yeah, so that's kind of translated into a lot of, we were talking earlier about the results, and you looked at your team next year, which was Williams last year. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys had some really good results last year. And I mean, you were doing some of the Masters racing, and then you ended up, kind of focusing with the P12, and you really focused on leading out Josh and some of these other guys. So your results were diminished, but I don't think your impact was necessarily diminished in the racing.
Oh, no. I had a blast racing last year, and, we had some amazing results. I think everybody on our team won at least one race, with the exception of my brother and myself.
It's a family thing.
Yeah, it is, but Kevin and I enjoy really just being out there racing. We know that we put our effort in, and when you have a guy like Josh Carling, you can definitely depend on him to give everything he has to try to win that race. And so he doesn't ever let you down. Once you lead him out or do an effort for him, you can just count on him. He's going to be in the mix somewhere or another.
Yeah, but not to diminish, I would just say real quick, I mean, I've raced with you in the Masters, raced with you at Cascade.
Yeah.
And you're no slouch, and you get the results. You did there at Cascade as well in the crit. So I'm just throwing it out there that Matt Tufts is a guy to reckon with, just because you're dealing with your teammates all the time, and doing things for them, which actually is a great benefit to have someone that does know how to get the results, then helping and leading out your teammates as well. So
yeah, no, it's I mean, yeah, I can be in the mix when I need to be or when I want to be, but I mean, when I try to sprint against Josh is going to beat me every time.
Sure.
So I don't mind working for him though, because I can put myself in a tough spot at the end of the race, and I know he's on my wheel, and good things are going to happen.
Yeah. Did you have something?
I was just going to say, so last year was the first year that you guys put Williams together.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys get together and kind of create the team that you ended up with?
So that started with Keith Williams, who is the owner of Williams Cycling, and he sells wheels, bicycle components, stems, seat posts, saddles, handlebars, things like that. He came to Josh and said, "Hey, I've been out of the NorCal scene for a while. because his online business was doing just fine, and he wanted to get representation back into the Northern California bike racing scene. So he came to Josh and said, "Hey, I want to start a team. Keep it small, but put your feelers out to anybody that you think would like to be a part of what we wanted to be a part of." And so Josh basically put his feelers out, and he was looking for local guys that he could ride with during the week. And he was also looking for, family type people, good guys to be around, people that you want to hang out with outside of the bike race. Right. And because we're there for fun, Sure. Guys like Kevin and myself and Josh, we're Masters age. So, this isn't our full-time job, and we're not going anywhere pro with this. This is just what we do for fun and keep in shape. So Josh assembled a team, and we ended up with 6 guys last year, and it was just a lot of fun. And so that's kind of how Williams formed.
That's cool. And as Tyler noted, it's not a huge team in number, but the results still come in, and it's just the ability to work together as a team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Josh is a great finisher, but it definitely was the fruit of the team working for each other. And everybody, like I said before, nobody on the team is selfish. You can't really be on our team if that's how you ride.
Sure.
Let's go. Did you want to chime in?
They won the best area team points competition last year, right? At the end of the year.
Oh, did we?
Well, Thirsty Bear won something.
Well, that was in the Masters.
Oh, gotcha.
But they're elite team.
Oh, that's right. Because Josh and Timmy were. Sorry to spoil the roster here already. Went to the awards ceremony, and that's right.
So, oh wow!
Right, yeah.
I didn't even know.
See, we're breaking news to you right now.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
You know what else
that's
you guys
awesome.
won? No.
They didn't tell Matt or Kevin.
No.
All
that prize money, they took it, man.
They did take a trip to Hawaii at the end of the day.
Man, I wasn't even invited.
Let's go through the roster real quick. Let me just go through who you have who I show from returning from 2017. So, obviously, we're starting off with Josh Carling, team captain, 37, Cat 2, and you have Kevin Tufts, your brother, 39, Carling's a Cat 1, not a Cat 2. Tufts.
He'll upgrade.
30, yeah, he could probably upgrade by now. Yeah. 39, Cat 2. Timmy Bauer, 26, Cat 1. Matt Tufts, 41, Cat 2. And Robert Bobby Terra, age 21, Cat 1. Those are the ones that are coming back from last year.
Yes.
Who, you guys all had a really good year. Timmy went from, I know he's fairly new into cycling and being a little bit younger. He went up. Was he to a 3 last year, or he went all the way up to a 1? He had a pretty good season.
Yeah, he went from a 3 to 1 in 3 years, or a little less than 3 years. So
from a 5 to a 1.
Or I'm sorry, 5 to a 1. Thanks. Yeah.
Let's make it 6 to pro.
I don't know. Why not? No. Timmy he's just got a lot of talent, and he has a drive like I haven't seen in very many people. He will run himself into the ground and keep asking for more. The guy just loves to push himself on the bike. And so, and he was rewarded. His biggest win last year was the Boise 1-2 crit. Yeah, that was a big win for him. And that was the one that pushed him to finally getting his Cat 1. So, he had a great year.
Yeah, I've talked about this before. That's one of the first races I was able to. Well, I did a race the day after. So when I was first racing, that was one of the first races I was able to watch the pros and stuff. And I love that race. I was always able to go back there. It's a great venue, and it's very impressive to have a win at that place there. So good for him. But I'm glad you guys have, look, you're a little older. Josh is a little older.
That's a nice way of putting that.
No, experience.
Compared to who?
Yeah, no.
You're seasoned.
So you talk about like Timmy and okay, let's go through who some of these the new ones. So I've showed 3 riders coming on from last year, new ones. Cameron Hawk, he's 19. He's a Cat 3. He was with Limitless.
Yep.
You have Matt Chatleong. Matt Chat, we'll call him. We had him on the show earlier. Herbalife 24. He's 26. He's a Cat 1, and obviously a lot of experience. And then Charlie Velez, who was our teammate last few years, 19 and a Cat 1. So you got some younger guys coming on there. One with a massive amount of experience, Chat. And then 2 with not as much. So what's kind of your plan for some of the younger guys mixed in with the older ones? Because you guys are all planning to do P1-2 races predominantly. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We're going to be lining up at as many P1-2 races as we can. The three of us that can race masters might jump in a race here or there, but for the most part, we'll save our legs for the P12. But really, the goal of this team, as well as representing our sponsors, is taking these U23 guys and kind of grooming them for the next level if they want to do it. Guys like Bobby Terra that have, he's got a ton of experience. He's still only 20,
He's only been racing 10 years, though.
Exactly. Yeah, he's been racing at least as long as I have, if not longer.
When he finally decided,
sometimes he skips cyclocross season though, so
it's
not.
Well, he's not. I don't think he's doing baseball anymore.
No.
1 year he skipped.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, well, and he just got engaged recently, so he.
Good luck.
So we'll see what happens with that, but no, Bobby's a great asset to our team. But then also Charlie, who has just been a beast on his own for the most part, because he was your teammate last year, but for the most part, you guys raced a lot of masters, and he was kind of the lone soldier in the P12. So, and he had a lot of really good finishes, and he has a ton of talent, and so we're hoping that he can kind of come along with us and learn a little bit about team dynamics, racing with the team, put himself in a position where he's working for somebody else, and let him experience that part of it, because that's a big part if he wants to go to the next level.
I've seen, and I've not experienced it myself, but I've experienced people that are really good. They do and I'm not calling Timmy out, but it's similar. They're so good, and they go from like a 5 to a 1 really quick, and they've never had to worry about the team dynamics. Now they're good enough where they're getting on a team, and they don't get the role of being what it is, to be on a team. I think it's really good that you guys are strong, not just mentally, but like character-wise, for these younger guys to come in and try to rope them in and say, I mean, you, Chat, your brother Kevin, and Josh all have the repertoire, the former the Palmeiras, I guess is what you'd say. I had to go there.
You weren't going to say that.
What's the word I'm looking for? The credibility to whip these guys into shape in a sense of like, hey, here's what you're doing. Because I mean, Josh, you look at the results last year. He was multiple wins, and he started out the season getting a win in the Masters, and then went to the P12.
Yeah,
that's the kind of guy with Chat and you and your brother that can basically show these guys what it's like. And those guys get that correct angle to go on it could really, really flourish. Now, I will say, in Bobby,
yes,
Robert, that kid's got a lot of cycling IQ already.
Oh,
we knew that when we had him. He used to be on our team as well. So
he's got as much experience as aside from Josh and maybe Chad. I mean, he's raced a lot of races.
Yeah. But he was savvy when we had him too. He was in the right spot.
Well, that's the thing, is he didn't just cruise through categories. He
might have been only 12.
He was 11 years old trying to compete against grown men. So he's kind of experienced it all already. And he's just going to be insane. Yeah, you guys, I'm obviously Charlie, an insane talent, Robert, an insane talent. I don't know Cameron as much. I think is he a local guy that's come out on like Wednesday rides, or?
I've seen Matt on the local group rides.
Was he on the Coffee Republic last week?
Yeah, he was on the Coffee Republic last week. And so he is, I believe, going to be entering his third year of racing. So he's really new to cycling, but a lot of talent. And he's only 2 points away from his 2,
right?
So he's really close to just joining us, hopefully with a race or two, he'll be right there. And he's super talented, but then again, the whole racing with the team and racing when, you're not the strongest guy on the team and you're probably going to be working for somebody else. We'll see how he, meshes with that and learns from that. Our philosophy really is to, groom these younger guys, give them a chance to work for somebody stronger than them, like Matt and Josh. They're our sprinters. They're it's gonna be hard to question or try to knock them off of that. But also Josh and Matt are very much about, hey, you show that you can work with us. We're gonna give you your opportunities, and we will ride for you. And just kind of see how that goes as their development comes along. So we definitely want to see Charlie win a race. We want to see Cameron and Bobby. We want them to win races. Yeah, that's kind of the goal, is to groom them along so that, they're coming up and, we're not just, working for the older guys.
So with the guys you have, the younger guys you have, a lot of them are really good breakaway guys. Are you going to be sending them up the road, and then you got Josh and Matt sitting back there? And
we can publish this after Cal-Aggie. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it just
what are your tactics?
It just seems like a hell of a strategy, because we've always seen Timmy and Charlie and Robert in breaks like forever.
Yes.
Yeah. Charlie and Robert or Bobby. What are we going with? Bobby. We've seen those two in breaks together.
It's Bob.
Bob.
He's getting married. Yeah.
Well, then it would be Robert.
Yeah. We've seen those two in breaks together, though. Just ripping legs off each other. So.
At Kalagi, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a number of strategies we could probably use. I mean, yeah, we definitely have some breakaway guys.
But Saturday, for example, if we were to talk.
Well, Saturday, really my only goal is to finish in front of you, since the race predictor, said you're going to finish in front of me.
We're going to change our whole team strategy. We're going to dump everything just to...
I'm hoping that...
get Curt ahead of Matt.
Well, I'm hoping that Masters race will take some, pop out of your legs, No, we have a lot of weapons to play. And even, you get Matt chatting a break, obviously we wouldn't complain with that either.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. I mean, the early part of the season, I would guess we are probably going to, just focus on riding as a team. Can you even perform a lead out? Can you control a race if you need to, Yeah. There's going to be a learning curve going on. I mean, our team isn't about lining up and winning every race. We are definitely about the development of the younger talent.
Do you have goals for yourself? I mean, obviously team wins are great, but is there anything that you're targeting individually?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been a Cat 2 for 3 or 4 years now. And as we keep getting all these Cat 1s and these guys upgrading to Cat 1s, I would like to get that for myself. It would be nice, just only for the purpose of going to a Dana Point or, a Tulsa Tough race and racing the P1 only races,
right.
Where I wouldn't be able to, line up. If it happens, cool. If not, that's okay too. There's plenty of P1-2 crits to go around, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be cool to get a Cat 1, but like I said, my racing age now is 42 and, it's just fun for me.
Sure. So, on that note though, so I'm just curious, a few years ago, you were winning a bunch of races. Lodi, I just remember that as an example in the Masters. So is your non-upgrade kind of due to the fact, I mean, did you have one, it seems like there was a season or so you were kind of taking off some of it, and then obviously last year you didn't really get as many chances. So
no, I didn't take a season off. I just wasn't very good.
Well, I was trying to give you the out there.
Yeah, well, no, I had an off year. Let's see, 2015 was the year that I won Lodi, and I wasn't winning a bunch of races. I think that might have been my only win, but I was on a podium or two. But those races I think are set to expire as far as points go. So, I don't know if I'll be able to carry those over. I think they only go for a year and a half. I don't know. They change the rules on that every year.
Yeah.
That was 36
months. But yeah, you had a second place at the Folsom Criterium too.
Oh yeah.
That was a E2 category.
Yeah. Okay. That was the 2-3 race. Yeah. So
Cascade, that was a good result there in the crit.
Oh yeah, no, that was fun.
One of my favorite results ever was in the Cascade time trial, the Crooked River.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes.
All-time.
You rode for us that
Oh,
race.
that's right. I was a guest ride for Data Driven.
Well, that was a little behind. I don't know. Are we going to crack the window on that one?
No, I just said it's one of my all-time favorite cycling moments.
Okay.
It was a surprising result that I'm not a TT guy. My strength is sprinting, and I did much better than I thought I would have, as I never practiced on a TT bike, but I happened to have one, and I got a nice skin suit from you guys.
Let's be honest. I think you borrowed one.
No.
That was your bike? Did you
buy it?
No,
I bought that. Yeah. No.
Right before that race, though, right?
There's a funny story.
I don't remember you actually training on it.
No, I never did. The funny story about that bike is that I bought it from Jared Kessler, who bought it from Josh Carling, and now Josh Carling is buying it back from me.
Oh, so I hope you're jacking up the price.
Oh, man. No, but I'm not losing money.
Okay. No, yeah, so you bought that right before the race and then came in and put down some time on some people that were training specifically for that, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Not me, but...
Well, I think I just, I'm slight of stature, so I get pretty arrow, and I think that was the definite benefit. Because
actually, why haven't you gone back to time trialing? Because you were really good at it with no practice.
Well, really good. No, I mean, I finished better than I thought I would have, but I was still like 25 guys down.
That's a tough field, though.
That's true. I mean, the guy that won that, would have been, fifth in the pros, and he went on, I think he's a pro cyclist now with Elevator, something like that. Right. So that was definitely a tough field.
Do you remember the name? Do you remember his name?
His name was Corey Lockwood.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a good TTer.
Yeah. So I think he raced for Elevate last year. So.
Yeah.
But, he crushed us all. He had a solo teammate, and destroyed Cascade that year.
Right. Yeah, I remember the strategy was, okay, he doesn't have a teammate. Oh, he could just time trial. Well, let's isolate him in the road race, and then let's isolate him in the crit. Well, okay, that Aubrey Butte, let's do it then. And
no.
We just go for beers before the before the circuit. Sounds good.
I didn't think we were going to talk about Novikov anymore.
Well, hey, I did go out drinking the night before when I did that time trial. It was we were on vacation, like I said. This is for fun, not for pro dreams.
So thinking back on your team here, I look at them and I see all the danger points of crit. What about is that kind of your team's goals this year? Are you planning on doing some road races? And I know we had him in here. He's thinned himself way down, and I know he's going to school and stuff, so he actually looks like a little bit more of a transformed rider. But what's your...
Yeah, that guy is ridiculous. I mean, he is riding so well right now, and yeah, he's always been thought of as a sprinter, but there are few people that are out climbing him right now. I know. So I have no problem with him doing anything but like more than a 20-minute climb. Racing against Mike's bikes and the other Herbalife climbers and stuff. Matt might not do so well there, but any race that has a climb that's 7 minutes or less, Matt is going to be right there. Yeah. And so we're just stoked that he's bringing his experience and taking a step back from Herbalife and wanting to ride with us. So it's kind of cool. He's pursuing school, so he's going for his master's, and fortunately for us, he is going to take a step back and ride with us, but still get to do his master's degree and go on for that.
Yeah, he seemed pretty excited about joining up with you guys, so I think that's going to be a formidable duo with he and Josh, first of all, to begin with. I mean, they've worked together before, and Matt was in here talking about how when he first joined up with Herbalife, Josh was like, "Oh, I'm leading you out," the unselfishness. And then obviously Chat's done that for him as well. So
yeah.
Now it's your turn to.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, we are. I mean, like our roster would suggest, we are ready to be a crit team. But with guys like Timmy and Bobby, also they love road races and they're good at them. And so we're definitely gonna take Matt and Josh and whoever else can show up at maybe like a Copperopolis and go work for them and give them a shot at that. But
and Charlie's no slouch in the road race scene either. He had some really great results last year.
Exactly.
Third at nationals to Cole Davis in the juniors. Second?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he got third.
I think it was. I'll look it up here while we're talking.
But he got, I think, fifth or sixth at Snelling behind all of Team Rally. So
yeah,
he's in a good position to do well.
Charlie is a huge talent, and so we're excited. Like I said, I mean, we only got better this year from last year.
All of you?
Well, I hope I did.
Jeez. What about your brother? Is he looking to upgrade as well? Or how's he been riding this year?
So Kevin has been riding really well. He is stronger than he was last year. And, really, I mean, that guy is probably the most unselfish guy on the team. He loves to ride for other people, and as do I. I mean, I think that's why they let us on this team is because we
no attitude problems.
We don't have no attitude at all. We know why we're here. We just like to race our bikes and have fun and matter in a race, and if we can get that out of it, that's fine. And knowing we have guys like Matt and Josh and Charlie, Timmy, all those strong guys out there, Bobby, and we'll see what Cameron can do. Sorry, Mr. Terra.
Mr. Terra. Bob. What about so the calendar itself? So I imagine you guys are going to, for the most part of this first part of the season, stay local. You plan on doing Chico, and then are you planning on doing any national races? You had talked about some of these. Let's just assume you get your upgrade. I'll help you out in a race or two.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It depends on which. The 45s, can you join those yet?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, never mind. No, let's say, are you planning on doing some traveling? Maybe Cascade? Anything else?
I don't know if we'll do Cascade. I mean, I know Timmy would love to do Cascade. He loves that race, but in the P1s, I have no business on that start line. I mean,
yeah, that's tough.
It's
right.
I would go up there and I would meet you guys at Sun River Brewing. I mean, I'll see you up there, but I'll sag or something. But as far as bigger crits, I know they want to do Boise again. possibly Dana Point, possibly Tulsa Tough, and a couple guys were talking about Tour of America's Dairyland. Yeah. So, there might be some travel. It more than likely will not be 100% of the team, but we'll see what goes on. There's only 8 of us, so, it could happen, but, a couple guys will travel. I don't know if I will as much.
Yeah, you've got family and work, and it's not as easy to just disappear for a while.
Yeah, well, I'm lucky that most of my kids are getting older. My youngest is 13, and I have 2 children that are older than 3 of my teammates. So it's kind of
and taller.
yeah. So I'm starting to free up a little bit more of my time, but still, having a couple of teenagers, still like to do family stuff.
Yeah. Are you looking to? What about Cal Aggie here? Let's just take it. This probably won't be out. I say probably until afterwards. What are you? What is your kind of your plan for that? Are you yourself going to do any double up races? You can do the Masters as well. Are you just going to try to focus in on the actual races? And let me ask you this, since you've brought it up a few times, are you going to try to do something yourself to start getting your upgrade points right away, or do you have a focus for some different races to do?
So I did just decide I'm not going to do the Masters. I don't know that I will do any Masters this year. If I do, it'll be on a whim. But as far as Cal Aggie goes, really when we get to a race, Josh and Matt, they will say, hey, here's the plan for the day. And so I haven't really even talked to them about that. I imagine that they could very easily say, hey, today we're going to practice controlling a race. So we're going to let a couple guys get off the front. We want our whole team to the front. Let's practice the rotation. Let's practice controlling a race, and then see what we can do in a lead out. I could very easily see them saying, hey, let's just, use this as a practice race. I mean, it's super early in the season.
Yeah.
And really, like I said, we are about development. So, it's not, try to win every race. So if we were going to try to win every race, our tactic might be a little bit different.
How about sponsors? You want to list out who your sponsors are, and kind of your kit changed this year, obviously, with a whole new sponsor. How did the Oak Valley Community Bank thing come about?
So Oak Valley Community Bank was one of our sponsors last year, and basically the connection there is Chris Courtney. If any of you ride the River Ride, he's out there from time to time. You'll see him, and he is the president and CEO of that bank. And so it's always nice to have.
Where's the River Ride at?
I don't know.
River. The canal, I think.
The South Canal. Being a foothills guy from Placerville, I don't frequent that one too often. So anyways, he, it's nice to have somebody in that position that likes cycling, is a cyclist himself, and he stepped up and said, hey, I want to be your guys' title sponsor, and Keith was, happy to have him. So it's cool to have them on board. And obviously Keith is our sponsor in the same vein as he was last year with wheels and components. And so we're stoked to be riding Williams wheels. I mean, I rode them last year, and it was the first time I'd ever had Williams wheels, and I honestly loved them. I would buy them if they, even if I wasn't sponsored. And then our kits this year, we're going with Jackaroo, and so they've definitely stepped up and gave us a healthy sponsorship as well. So we're excited about that. That's
good. Your kit changed colors. You were all like black with some sparkly red or something in there.
Yeah.
Smattering of that.
Yeah.
So it's white top now and green bottoms. Is that correct?
Yeah, dark green with black on the bottom and white and then green on the top. So yeah, Keith let Chris know, hey man, you're gonna title sponsor. We'll let you design the kit, and so the kit design is Chris Courtney. So he did that.
One thing I think from a kit standpoint, we've seen quite a few new kits roll out this year, and one of the things that's distinctive about yours is that it is white, and it's going to be, from what I've seen, relatively unique in the field. So from identifying teammates in the race, I think that's beneficial for you guys.
Yes.
From separating yourself from the field.
Yeah. No, I've never really had a white top before. It's I think I'll like it in the summer. For sure. And like you said, identifying teammates, that'll be really nice. Another sponsor we have is Nonstop on Wheels, and they were providing our helmets this year. And those we're also going with a white, couple of black highlights, but for the most part, it's a white helmet. So, do we have a guy in the break? Hey, yes, we do. So it should be good for that.
Yeah, that's always a tough one, and we've talked about that over and over and over, and so that's why we are still similar colors. I don't know. Is that
who designed your kits?
Curt designed it.
Yeah, I will say that. I guess.
Oh,
sure.
I don't know if you've seen it. I just picked mine up yesterday.
I haven't seen the new one. No,
I really like it. Tell you the truth, my wife even commented it was pretty nice, and then she said, "And then take it off."
That's a great compliment.
I don't know.
Nice. The core works working.
Well, there could be two reasons to take it off.
I don't know that it was flattering reasons. So,
all right, Tyler.
Does it look good or does it look really good?
Yeah, so we haven't seen. I mean, there could be a lot of white kits this year. You never know what you're going to find.
That's true. There could be more, but from what I've seen from a few folks, it doesn't look like that'll be a predominant color.
I'll withhold my compliments for now.
Well, okay. That's okay.
Nonetheless, it's nice to have a distinctive color that's
so far on the Coffee
out.
Republic ride. I've been able to spot teammates well, so I'll just say that.
It's the guys on the front.
Yeah,
we saw that with Grafrath last week too. The Cognance Thirsty Bear. It's a drastic change in their color as well. So things come around.
I like that kit a lot.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. Okay, so any other sponsors that you have, and how much support? I don't know if you want to get into this, but how much support do they give you? Is it title? Is it giving you race entry, or you guys just want to say, hey, we're just taking care of well?
We are taken care of really well. More than any other team I've been on. As far as actual dollar amounts, I don't even know as far as how that funnels out to every individual rider, but. Keith lets us use the wheels. Jack Rue provides the kits up to a point. There are extras that we can buy on our own, but they've given us a good start for sure. So it's just been really nice.
I think that's awesome for especially the younger guys who look, we got jobs and I could afford to put a little bit in whatever. But when you have the younger ones, they don't necessarily have the job. Although sometimes their parents are taking care of them, but get them to the races. Get them the kits. Get them those wheels that they're going to end up putting in the gutter and smashing anyway. So
yeah.
And then for us, I mean, wheels are sometimes that could be the make or break of the season, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've had to buy a pair of wheels that I didn't want to buy, and it's it's not a fun expense. So I'm definitely very well blessed. I mean, really, most people out there they pay their own race fees. They buy their own bike. They buy their we're all on our own bikes. We don't have a bike sponsor, but. Definitely much better than it could be.
Well, that could be your goal right there. Bike sponsor.
Oh, there we go. And we'll take it. And we better start focusing on winning races and not developing. Is that what you're saying?
No. What are you riding for a bike?
I've been on a Leopard for the last 4 years, and I'm going to continue to beat that thing into the ground. I've crashed it at Land Park. Speaking of that,
I remember that.
That stinks. And so I have had that repaired, and it's taken me another year or so. And until it breaks and I can't replace it, until we get a bike sponsor, that's what I'll be riding.
That's what you're doing. Anything else on the team you want to talk? You guys have anything else for the?
Well, you'd mentioned Tulsa Tough, maybe Dana Point. Any stage races that are requiring travel, whether it's Valley of the Sun?
Yeah, so I know a few of us are going to go down to San Dimas.
Okay.
So I know at least me, my brother Kevin, and Cameron. We're going to try to go down there and enter the twos only race there, work on upgrade points that way. So that'll be going on. And we'll probably enter Chico as well for sure. Cool. So, but we just really want to focus on a lot of the local, keep these races on the calendar. I mean, it seems like more and more are dropping off. So we definitely want to make a good showing at, all these local ones.
Do you, what category are you going to do at Chico? Do you guys have any idea?
What? I have not seen a flyer yet, and I haven't heard. Is it still a P1 at Chico and then a twos only, or are they making it a P1 2?
That's a good point.
I'm not sure. If it's P1, then I would probably race the twos. But if it's a P1 2, then we'll all jump in. So.
I haven't seen anything either.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is. I mean, I don't even know if they're doing a TT bike or Merc style.
That's right.
Let's talk about that.
We did last week. You can take a listen to that.
Okay. I'm not a TT guy, so I don't care.
But you've got a TT bike you can borrow, right?
No, I sold it to Josh, remember?
Just make sure your times are a little off and you'll be set.
No, I'm going to do the Willie Myers and put the frame pump on there and everything.
So speaking of canceled races, I just saw this posted up yesterday. So the Burlingame Crit has been canceled. And the Merced Crit has been canceled. And then the CCCX road race, I guess, was set for this weekend, has been moved to February 25th. So interesting on the Burlingame one. That was the one that was the big conflict with Nevada City. Well, people were making it a conflict, which I always said, I don't think those are the two types of races that conflict with each other. But now I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're 3 hours apart, and they're different courses, different types of riders. So I mean,
still have big draws where they're pulling in major teams. So I think it's nice that.
Yeah.
Not to say that
which one's pulling in big.
I think they both do. I mean, they both have really good turnouts.
For sure.
So not that it's good that Burlingame got canceled, but it's good that Nevada City's got its own day on the calendar.
This year is Nevada City's going all in. It seems like the course changes, the change in date, getting off Father's Day so people can show up. It's
course change.
Yeah, course change.
Go on.
The day after Tour de Nez, so you got people coming down the hill that are going to be able to hit it. So it's goes back to the way it was back when that was a stage race. It's more a part of that one big weekend. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be good. You guys, will Williams be there? Or excuse me, Oak Valley Community Bank?
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to Nevada City for sure. And
awesome.
Probably Tour de Nez as well. I don't know if either of those conflict with, no.
There's not much on the schedule because Burlingame was the other
conflict.
Race, yeah.
Oh no, it was Lakeport conflicted with Boise. And so I was at Lakeport last year, and a couple others were at Boise, and I know those are not even close, but...
Well, the second annual Lakeport? Or
yeah, but let me tell you, I loved that Lakeport race. Okay. It's a very cool venue, and they do a really good job. And, I really hope that thing stays on the calendar and gets even better attendance than it was last year,
Yeah.
So hopefully that has its own venue.
Tell me about the
as well.
Curt then. So what was the course? What did you like about it?
I liked it that you're right on the lakefront, so you're right. I mean, Clear Lake's the largest natural lake in California. So it's a pretty big draw for boating, and fishing and all sorts of water sports. But the course is right there on Main Street on downtown Lakeport, on the lakefront. And, it's not really a technical course. There's it's a 4-quarter, turn, but there's a steep hill, a nice good punch to it, that if you're not in shape, like I was, you get dropped.
In shape or you weren't?
I was not in shape. No, I got dropped. That race probably about 7 laps in or so, if I even made it that far. That was the one that Chris Reichert decided he was just going to ride away from everybody, and he did.
That was one of the ones Chris Reichert decided he was going to ride away from.
Was that in Jackson too? Was it?
I'm not sure if he was at Jackson. It was probably another.
Someone rode away from somebody.
Yeah, I think it was another Mike's guy though. I think it was maybe Aria. But anyway, but it's a fun course. It's downtown. The spectator section is underneath these giant shade trees, on a grassy, hillside that you're just there in the middle and watching the race. It's great for spectators. The beer was flowing, and it was just a good time.
Makes it a little easier to drop on lap 7.
Well, let me just say I did happen to, have a solo cup in my hand on lap number 9.
That's the Matt we like. No, I'll have to check that race out then. I know they were starting a team too this year that had like some, I don't know, bikes and all kinds of stuff they were throwing at people. So maybe they've got a little bit of money or enthusiasm from the city or something.
Yeah, I just saw something that came out. They're talking about changing the course up again, even making it more technical and adding 2 hills. The guy's just putting it out there to get his feelers of what he wants to do. I guess some people were complaining that the course was too technical and it made it too easy for brakes to get away. It doesn't really make sense to add turns and hills if you're wanting to keep the race together, but whatever. I mean, either way, that's going to be a fun venue for sure.
Either way, there'll be complainers.
Well, this is true. I won't be one of them because there's always solo cups at the end.
Yeah.
you piqued my interest. I might check that one out. It sounds cool.
It's a lot of fun.
He's I've heard that from quite a few people that went to it that said it was really cool. So.
Oh yeah, no, they do. He does a good job. Awesome. A good job. It definitely deserves participation.
When about in the year was that?
That was in July, I believe. Yeah,
we got time.
Build some fitness. Get ready for those hills.
Yeah. Well, Cascade's moved up too, so if you're not going to do that,
you do want to be in shape. You don't want to.
Well, what if I just want beer like halfway through the race?
Well, then you can ride with me.
Okay.
I don't know if they do gluten-free there, Chris.
Rats.
Hey, how does that compare? That you're talking about the climbing there. How does that compare with like Nevada City?
So it's not as hard as Nevada City.
Is it more like a Cat's Hill type or?
Yeah, I would compare it more to Cat's Hill, but it's not It's not as steep, but it's a little bit longer.
Okay.
The hill on it. So, but it's and it's just 4 corners. So Cat's Hill had a couple extra turns in there, but no, it's just a 4 corners downtown crit, and not as steep as Cat's Hill, but a little bit longer than Cat's Hill.
So the complaint was that it was a too technical 4-corner.
Well, the complaint was that it was
the hill was serpentine,
too easy for breakaways to get away.
That is okay. That is a bizarre.
That was my first instinct too. So
you always have to filter some of the comments.
We're gonna race on an oval with like 0 corners and brakes never get away.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless there's wind or geese, I guess.
That was a funny incident.
Yes.
Wait, I'm lost on that. Geese?
Oh,
last year in particular, but every year there's always geese on the course at the Folsom Crit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think Willie decided to. He was going to hit one, take it out, or it took him out. Yeah. No, he stayed out.
He didn't intentionally try to hit it.
No, he didn't. He didn't. But it was unavoidable.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was fun.
Now I remember. Okay, I'm old. My memory's a little lax. Merced Crit has been canceled. Have you done that?
I have not. No, but like I said, I kind of have this rule about driving farther than the race lasts.
You still hold that? You went to Lakeport. Did you move your residence real quick?
Actually, funny story is my in-laws live like 15 minutes away from there, so I had a place to stay. So then I could, throw in some family time with it as well. So
that's how you knew the details about the lake.
Yeah, and there's some good Mexican restaurants on that lakefront too, so it's a good time.
I have done Merced, but I never like to see races go, especially that one has been around a while. So
that's the one that goes into an alley on part of the course.
I believe so.
Between 2 buildings.
Yeah, I think
It's got the.
Is that the one you ruined your helmet beforehand?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. I wrecked that day.
It was like Actually, it's not. That was the Mirko course, which is. I know it sounds like it. Isn't that a different? That was a different crit, though, wasn't it?
I don't know. There's a Merced, there's Mirko, there's Modesto.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never done Merced. I did Mirko back in the day.
I've done them. I can't always. I haven't been to them lately. So anyway, I don't like to see races necessarily disappear, but there are some cool ones coming up on the calendar anyway. So hopefully we'll be able to kind of fill those in. Another interesting thing that they just released here were all the district championship locations and dates. So let me go through some of these and we can talk about them. So the men's and women's Masters Road Race is the CCCX Road Race course in Monterey on June 10. Have you guys done that?
I have not.
I have not.
Triple CX? I haven't either, and I'm probably not going to drive down there because I have a similar rule.
Well, and that rule for me has changed, as soon as you get a sponsor saying, "Hey, I'll pay for you to do that race." Yeah. Then that changes, and obviously I go. But in my early days when it was, paying for my own stuff, then I didn't like to,
Jason.
We'll edit the stuff earlier, Matt.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Last when we talked to Jason Griffathen here, he used the word family capital, which is you can't spend it all. You get this build up. So, I've had this in the early part of the season. I'm doing all these races every weekend, and then you're doing Snelling, which is like a whole day being gone.
For sure.
And then your wife's like, this marriage thing this is not how I envisioned it. You need to do some chores. And they're like, okay. So I've got to space my time out, and I haven't been able to, Monterey, that's I don't know. Who races in the afternoon? They always put a race in the morning, so you basically have to go down the night before.
Yep. That's the districts, the Monterey?
Yeah, it's Monterey. Okay. Yeah.
I have family down there, so I might check it out this year.
Okay.
Is it on a Sunday or Saturday? I guess
we're all staying at Chris's house. June 10. You know what day that is?
Yeah, I don't. But like an afternoon race that far away on a Sunday is really hard for me, because I'm one of those guys that has to go to work on Monday.
I think that's also the weekend after Cascades.
We have to make our decisions.
It's a Sunday, so it's going to be tough. Okay, let's go on.
These are binding decisions you're making.
Yeah.
Well, it is being recorded.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to it.
Tyler's registering you.
Right now, that's what I'm doing.
Perfect.
The men's and women's elite, this is the one I think I really like, one of the changes here. Men and women elite crit championships is now the Davis 4th of July crit in Davis.
Oh, that's cool.
I think that's really cool.
I think that's really. I mean, it's been Oakland the last several years, and I kind of like it mid-season where you get someone that's because the Oakland one it seems like it was a little waning.
What day is that?
That's the 4th of July. Okay. I think it might be
just busting my chops.
A Tuesday or so this year.
I'll punch him later.
You guys were going at it on emails earlier, so
we were having a good time.
Oh, I thought it was serious. No, so I like the fact that it's in the middle of the season, kind of the peak of everyone's fitness, and that race almost, I feel it's kind of like Nevada City, where they're starting to almost have a desperation of this thing might disappear if we don't do something serious to bring the crowd back or the participants back, because Davis has been going down, Nevada City's been going down, and maybe this is a way of kind of getting a big infusion of racers. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that one stays. I mean, my favorite crits are the downtown ones. They're the most fun to race because there's usually more technical, and usually it's just better to spectate. Yeah. So I definitely prefer those over a business park. So hopefully bringing crit champs there will be a boost to it.
Yeah. So that's on the 4th of July, Curt.
Okay, thank you.
Juniors road race. We're going to be back at the same Monterey course in July 1 for districts. And then men's and women's and all juniors, Red Kite, once again, September in Pleasanton for those. Kind of been the
That's
same.
for Masters Crit?
Masters Crit. I wish we
so
would
that
get.
One's the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, God bless all the promoters that take these on. I think districts, they've got to do a little extra for that. But I would love a really technical crit for Masters as well.
Yeah, their technical crits are just definitely the most fun. If you're going to be in a crit, it just adds so much to the challenge of it and who can handle a bike, who can't, and it's just so much more fun for me.
Yeah, have you done districts down there?
I did not do
Masters?
Oakland. No, I have done districts Masters 3 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Well, you'll get a chance to do it again this year if you want.
If I want, yeah. It's not a P12 race, so
I know, but there's nothing else going on that day, so
family capital.
Family
correct.
Capital. Yeah.
Yes. I do love my wife.
And well, that's sweet. Men's and women's elite road race, Dunnigan Hills, August 11.
Well, that's kind of cool.
It'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting if it's windy.
What was the road race last year for them? I'm trying to. Was it
Pescadero?
Pescadero.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's. See,
Different type
Pescadero.
of winner.
Who is that?
Said you get a different type of winner.
Yeah,
at
totally.
Dunnigan.
Yeah, and so that's. I mean, Dunnigan isn't a climby race. It could be a windy race.
Yeah. It'd be an interesting selection.
Yeah, and then you have the NCAA and time trial, Esparto. So there you go. You get your bike back.
Yeah, maybe
September
Josh will let me borrow it.
All TTs out in Esparto.
I don't think Josh wants to do that time trial.
Josh will not be doing that time trial. Oh, man.
We've discussed that situation a few times on this podcast.
That was brutal.
Yeah, I felt for him. I even talked to him after. Yeah, we've mentioned it. He said he cracked it, hit in the hole. So anyway, September 15th, all the time trials out there. I think Chris and I have actually been talking about. Well, Chris is going to do it. You got to.
We recruited you into the team time trial component. But yeah. I thought that was going to be at the Loyalton one. So you
that's not. That's not. What is the Loyalton one then?
That's like June, July, somewhere around there. So you've
Obviously,
got a little bit
I've been
of time
training.
to build up some fitness.
How far is the drive and how far is the TT?
Depends on how fast you go. The TT is variable.
Well, then I can definitely be there.
Right. This might fit a rule that we've been discussing.
If
That's
you
like
need to make it a 2-hour TT to match the drive, then you're set.
Okay, so break that down for me then. This says time trial. So you're saying loyal.
Well, no, that's where it's been in the past. If they moved it to Esparto.
Well, it says all NCAA racers time trial Esparto TT September 15. Esparto.
That's great.
So do they have a team time trial?
They have had one in the past. I haven't seen anything for
this
Esparto
was just
yet.
Posted on Facebook, so I don't know. If there's...
Okay.
But yeah, they've had the team time trial up in. It used to be Sadley.
Oh.
But then they moved it to Loyalton last year, and
is that by age group as well, or is it by category?
Both.
Oh.
Yeah. So they did. We did a 35+ one a couple of years ago.
Did you guys just race yourselves?
It ended up being that way. Some of us got dropped from their team time trial component.
Well, maybe I'll guest ride with you guys if you need an extra player.
There you go.
Add a fifth.
I'm already out, just like that. Just like that.
Oh, no, I'm not here to kick anybody off. I'm just saying if you needed a player.
I imagine I would be first to go.
But the Esparto courses, I enjoy that course.
So what is it like?
It's relatively flat, a couple rollers. It's basically the backside of the Bariani and Dunnigan Hills course.
Oh, okay.
So the rollers are really mild.
So I'll be able to just enjoy the countryside as I'm rolling in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's okay. Well, did you guys hear about the world of cycling today? We had a few positive drug tests. Did you hear about the female that they had a story about her on I'm trying to see if I can even see her name.
I saw the breaking news. Yes.
The breaking news, yeah.
Something
it was
like
on Vela News or something?
Yeah, it was on Vela News. And I did read about it. And the breakdown is basically she was applying for a TUE, therapeutic use exemption, and they denied it. She did that, I guess, multiple times. They denied it. She then decided she's still going to take this testosterone, whatever it is. And she races, they test her, and she's positive. So now she's going in asking for, some sort of leniency. But that one to me is a little bit different because she's not saying that it was done by any other, she obviously did it, and she was obviously trying to get an exemption for it. And the fact that they denied her, I mean, you just don't race then, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess my sympathy is down a little bit on her. I'm not
less sympathy.
Less
more?
Sympathy, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, down.
She was denied multiple times.
I believe so. Yeah.
So then showing up for a race, that's like asking to be the random person chosen for a test, right?
Yeah, exactly. And in Vela News article, they actually had a link that talked about amateurs, and it was an article that they had written last year. This big, extensive paper or article talking to multiple men, with low T, and them trying to get a TUE for their thing. And these guys are always denied, and you're shaking your head no.
Well, I mean, yeah, you don't race.
No, exactly. And that was their dilemma. These guys, some of these guys are like, well, we're not competitive. We just want to race. But yeah, we still want to have relations with our wives. and I'm like, I don't.
Was the Colorado incident that came out today, was she professional or she amateur?
Was, I think she was amateur. She was 41. She was a coach. She wanted this whole thing set as private. She didn't want anybody to know because she didn't want it to ruin her business.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Jennifer Sham or something like that. Scram or something.
Yeah. If you're taking something that you can't get a TUE for, then you don't race. I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult.
Or you do, and then you go, whoops. I mean, I think it's what it is. I mean, how many times have you been tested?
I've never been tested.
Yeah.
0?
Yeah. So what are the odds? She's like, oh, they're not going to show up, and then someone squealed or something. I don't know. Anybody else have any comments or anything?
No,
about that?
I mean, you shouldn't be racing. You know. I mean, not that you're dirty, but you've applied for something that you weren't granted. Shouldn't be racing. I wouldn't want to race people that, were in a similar boat. So, right? It's pretty easy.
Yeah. No, I agree. And she got 6th in the race that she raced anyway. So,
okay. What was the penalty?
I want to think it was like a 4-year suspension or something like that. I could be wrong on that, but and then the other one you'd mentioned, I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but I think his dad had got top 3 in the tour several years ago, and then his wife was busted bringing drugs across different countries, and then they said they were for her. This is all around the tour time. I'm trying to remember his name now. Rumsus.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. And then he had 2 sons that were up racing. One just got busted, or it's a few months ago, but the other one had died. I don't know if it was related to drug.
I think it was heart complications. But
yeah, could have been from
was it
taking
directly attributed? I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah, the penalty came out today, or the suspension. But I think he got it was in the news earlier in the year that he had tested positive. I'm guessing they made an attempt to fight it, and then it came out that
someone had just mentioned it. I think Matt had said something, or you. So I'm just
I just saw a couple of blips on, hey, more doping. It's like, man, is this ever going to go away? You just I don't know what to think about it. It's like, I mean, you're going to get caught, or are there really that many people never getting caught that it just perpetuates?
Well, how much do we get tested at our level?
That's a really good question.
I don't ever finish well.
Well, I know, but it doesn't matter. Like the guys who finish well. Nobody gets tested.
I mean, I know Josh has been tested a few times.
Yeah, he's racing at a little bit different level.
Well, he was tested at Chico a couple years ago. After he won the Masters circuit. So there are guys that get tested that I've met, but it's like you said, few and far between.
Right.
Yeah. Excuse me.
So doping bad. That's the summary.
And it seems like they've stepped up the effort to test more. Tyler was commenting the other day that he's having to pay an additional surcharge on his license to cover some of that testing. He pays a little more than the rest of us, but
well, so do you, right? I mean,
I just do $5. He does $25.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's your penalty for being a Cat 1.
Okay, well, it looks like I'll be a lead out guy then.
That extra $20.
Actually,
talk to Oak Valley Community Bank.
I'd almost, I'd donate that extra 25.
Right.
It's like let's get rid of these dopers. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So I'm trying to think of the races this year where we actually saw USADA out at the race. I can only think of one or two locally where they were actually out there.
Mm-hmm. So where was that?
The Red Kite that we did districts, they were out the day before. And I think I saw them obviously they were at Cascade. I thought there was one other local race, but I forget which one that might have been.
I've told this little ditty before, and I'm going to do it again. It was, I think, 2015 Masters Nationals.
That's stuck in his 11.
Yeah, no. So there was a guy out there we all know he was the one that got busted a few weeks or months after, local rider from Reno. But he was out there in Nationals just throttling it, and I think he did fairly well in the TT, did okay in the crit. But anyway, they have testing for the time trial, then they have testing for the road race. So you got to go to each day you look and they have random numbers these people need to report. So and you look before the race. So I go to see who it is before the crit, and they don't have anything up where they normally have it. So I go to talk to the officials. Hey, where's the testing? They go, oh, no testing for the crit, which caught me a little off for the fact that, you're going to nationals. You expect, the top 3 are going to be tested and some randos. Yeah. And not to mention the fact that the crit had a big influx of additional riders that weren't there the first 2 days that were from, Southern California and some other areas. Crit riders. And some of these, one of them was, what's that monster guy?
Kale.
Yeah, I believe he was. Yeah. So the one event that's probably more likely to have someone violate the crit, then they just don't even test. I guess, they needed to catch their flight back home or something. I thought that was pretty egregious. So that's what you have in your USA Cycling. All right. This
good pull.
That's been the talking points memo.
Spin.
Okay.
Talking points.
Let me ask you, Matt, did you happen to watch or see any of the highlights of the Tour Down Under?
Yeah, I would get on Steep Hill and watch like the last 3K or something like that. That's how I watch my cycling.
No, exactly. And I was curious if you had seen Caleb Ewing's the one that he lost to Viviani. And
yes.
Okay, so we'll break this down. He's got a lead out. He had lost the day before. Or no, he had won the day before, I think, with Impey in second. And then he comes into that one. And I would like to hear your input as someone who leads people out and then who's a sprinter. What do you think he did? Do you think he just messed up, or do you think he was trying to let his teammate win?
To me, it looked like he hesitated and was looking back, actually. And he looked back too much. And as soon as he looked back forward, that's when Viviani just exploded. And I mean, he came around with so much momentum that by the time Ewan could react, I mean, it was over, so I don't think he was trying to let a teammate win. I mean, he knows where the line is, and to me, it just looks like he hesitated and, mistimed it.
Chris, you saw that. What's your take on that?
To me, it looked like he thought they had a big enough gap. He and, was it Edmondson that was leading him out?
I think so.
To me, it looked like he was gifting the win to his teammate. Looked like the gap was big. Momentum was still going from Edmondson, and realized, we're still 200 yards out. I better jump. But by that point, it looked like Viviani had already accelerated past.
Yeah, you know what? I mean,
it's hard to say.
Definitely can make a case for that for sure. I don't know if I'm in that position, and looking back, I could see where he's like, "Hey, do we have it? Can I let him do it?" And then, oops. Didn't work out.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a good one. You're going to see them correct that, being the case of, well, as a matter of fact, here's my evidence for thinking that he was trying to gift it. Because when I was watching with my younger son. I'm like, oh, look, he's letting his teammate win, and then you see him screw up. I listened to an interview with him the day before, and he's like, oh, the first time when I came across the line, Impey comes up to me and says, oh, you're never going to let me win. So he's got that on his mind. And then he goes into that one, and he's been jumping early on a lot of these sprint finishes, and he doesn't stand his teammate's wheel. He lets a gap go. I mean, if that's your lead out guy, you're not going to let that gap go. And I know he's looking behind.
Yeah.
And I don't criticize him because this is one of those things you're like, well, you know what you do? You're going to sit down with your team. You're going to like, okay, I can't gift you a race anymore. And I'm just going to, not that I was, but I'm going to have to just be a killer each time. And that's probably good to learn before the tour.
So did you see the outcome of the race we watched a little bit of last night?
When you say I was online with you, yes.
Yes, as was Curt. It was kind of like a pre-race for the Cadell's Great Ocean Race.
Okay. I didn't see that.
It was, I guess, breakout away. They pulled it back, and Mitchelton Scott. They were the team that was driving the pace on the last lap, and they ran out of leadout guys with like 300 or 400 to go. So it's Ewan on the front again. He just jumped, did what he could do, ended up getting 5th place as he got passed by all the other sprinters. But it sounds like as a team, they're not as dialed with their lead out as they've been in the past. So I think last year he won all the sprint stages of the Tour Down Under. So there's still, I don't know if it's different players that are in the mix this year or what's different.
What sprinters weren't there last year? Greipel wasn't there. I don't know who won this race you're talking of last night, though. But Greipel, Sagan wasn't as strong last year. Yeah. Viviani wasn't there. So, he had a little bit more of a...
One of the Bora guys won last night.
Oh, Sam Bennett?
Yeah.
Bennett? Okay. I know he'd been sick before the Tour Down Under, so maybe...
Well, maybe, like you said, they're still figuring it out. They're not all that dialed. You definitely have a good case for him, trying to let a teammate go and win it. I don't know how often pro teams do that. I mean, they're there to win the race, right. So that would be my thing is like, you don't have time to mess around. You give your best effort. You're paid to win.
Yeah.
And so that would be where I'm thinking that, maybe he just made a split second decision and said, hey, try to go for it and got caught. But I don't know. It's super early in the season too. I mean, the Tour Down Under isn't the Tour, and it's not the Vuelta, and it's not, so they could be using these early races as well.
Do you guys go out and do any kind of practice, like for this kind of, like how we're going to line up, and not that you need to necessarily practice, but at least an idea so that it's going to flow a little better in the race?
Actually, our team did. We got together and just talk some basic things of communication. And just practice going around a little 4-corner course and just practice the communication and just being used to that kind of thing. I mean, we do have 3 new teammates and, Matt Chat, wanted to say, hey, let's all get on the same page. Let's talk about how our team is going to operate, and we'll just definitely use his experience and say, hey, listen, this is how this should look if we were doing it right, and let everybody get used to that, especially guys like Cameron and Charlie, that haven't really been a part of a lead out per se, or at least not one.
No, they haven't.
Like what we got going on. So, we definitely went out there and did that. We like to try to do some bump and drills, just getting used to, you're going to get bumped in a crit. It's just going to happen. Yeah. And, getting used to it enough to where you don't react and crash somebody out because you're overreacting to stuff, just kind of getting used to that contact, and stay safe.
Yeah, totally. That's good. We should do that.
Yeah.
Can I come watch?
You can come watch us Saturday at the Cal Aggie. That's where we're going to practice.
Yeah, we'll practice there.
Oh, perfect. Well, there's a lot of grass if you wanted to go out there in the golf course and dodge golf balls.
We'll do it in the middle of the road. Wouldn't be the first time.
No, but we'll at least go this time the same direction as the
That's smart.
That's what I was going to say. The rotation down under might be different.
So, yes, Coriolis effect.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm lost on that one. You're going to have to explain
Scott
that to me.
Get it all together.
What is this rotation down under of which you speak?
The water goes down the drain, and depending on which.
Okay. I thought you were talking like some sort of team inside joke.
And if we're wrong, Zimny will correct us right about now.
Yeah, it's probably being posted right now.
Yeah, we haven't even posted this out.
He's got access to.
Did you have some online stuff to rip Matt with or anything? You bring some arsenal with you.
No, I can't wait. Quotes? I bet it's rich.
No. I mean, there was.
He's more reserved online. He was off Facebook for a while, so.
I was?
No, Matt.
Oh, yeah. No, I was for sure.
I got
to take my Facebook breaks. It's a lot of nonsense on there.
You ever been on a podcast before?
No. No, it was my first time, Curt.
You ever been in a Turkish prison?
Never seen a grown man naked.
I don't have anything. We set some ground rules beforehand.
Oh,
I got nothing for you.
Oh man, we got it all out on email.
Yeah.
You ever upgraded a category without John Novikov?
Ooh, that is a good one. And the answer is no. I think all of my upgrades, John has been on my team. Yeah, so it's always been Kevin is. I've always been on the same team with Kevin, and then John. Our only departure was after Folsom Bike when he went to you guys, and I went to Williams. So yeah, no, all my upgrades have happened with John and Kevin, and Jeff, I believe.
Has Jeff been racing? I haven't seen him.
No, Jeff had a baby.
Well,
his wife did. Yeah.
Well,
no, I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But
I've seen that Danny DeVito movie.
That's when he started to.
Did you see my category this week?
That's when he started to take a break from from racing. So no, I haven't seen Jeff in a race in a while.
Yeah.
So, but still, buddies with him and like to get together with him for sure.
No, he's a good guy.
Oh yeah, good guy.
Any last inquiries about the Oak Valley community? What can they find? I'll link to it in the show notes. Your Facebook page. I know you guys have Instagram. I don't know if there's Twitter out there, but do you know? I don't know if you know much about that.
I don't think there's any Twitter that I know of, but Instagram we're on there, and Oak Valley Community Bank. We have a Facebook page and
Williams for Twitter.
.com. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm not on Twitter. I don't tweet.
I'll link to most of it as I can.
So.
Okay. Yeah, but you guys, I'm excited. I'm actually excited to watch them race. I think it'll be cool. That's a heck of a team.
Well, it's fun to see. The last few years it's been either a version of Mark Porstrava, H24, or Mike's Bikes. Those are kind of your two big teams, and it's great to see you guys making your way in Stork or whatever they have going on.
I'll give credit to A-Main, Williams last year, obviously.
Yeah, A-Main as well. But I'm just saying,
but for sure, the
you guys are really coming
Mike's
through.
Bikes and H24 for sure.
But they can't undermine. I mean, you guys, you're a force to be reckoned with, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we definitely had a better year than expected last year, and showed that we can get finishes with those big teams. So and with the addition of Matt Chat. And Charlie and Cameron, it's really we're looking for even more success.
How does Josh look right now? I mean, have you been riding with him? Is he?
He every once in a while he'll have a little bit of shoulder pain from that broken collarbone, but his fitness is starting to come around.
You think Josh will be able to tough that out, or that kind of?
There's something about Josh that he can. I was talking with Tyler about this earlier before we all got together. Josh has this mentality that he will always put himself in a good position to be there for a finish, and, I have those moments, and I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'll get in a race and it just hurts. And I just think, no, today's not my day. And I back off and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Today doesn't have to be the day. And I've never seen Josh do that. He'll pick himself off the ground in a crash and he doesn't look at anything to see if anything's broken or anything. He just gets back on the bike. And if it's pedalable, he's trying to catch back on,
Word of the day.
Yeah. Put that one in your Urban Dictionary.
Oh, I'm just happy to see or hear that I won't have to see him that often in the 35 plus fields. That's nice for the three of us here.
Yeah, no, his racing age I think is only 38. So if he feels like it, if he wants a warm up, make sure you just give him a shoulder and ask him, how's that steel plate in your collarbone feel?
Yeah, when he came into the Masters a few years ago and did the first few races, I think he won right away. And I was like, yeah.
It didn't take him too long to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and I think he's like, this isn't really, let's go back to the other.
Yeah, he did. He's told me a couple times that he definitely has more fun in the P1 too, just because the dynamic is different. For sure. It's just a different dynamic in the Masters fields, and he has more fun in the P1 too.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, good luck to you guys this season. Thank you very much for coming in.
Oh, it was a great time. Thanks for having me.
I'm sure we'll try to catch up with you during the season, seeing how you're doing. We see you all the time anyway. So thank you very much for coming in, and hope you get your 2-to-1 upgrade as soon as possible. And as soon as you do, let us know. We'll post it and make a big deal.
Yeah. Hey, goal achieved.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
No, seriously, shut it down. That's very cool.
Okay. Well, I'll try not to get those upgrade points in the Masters then.
Yeah. Well, you could do that. Well, anyway, Curt, any last comments?
No, Tyler, I'm through.
I really appreciate you coming in here today. I'm glad to see you drank absolutely none of that.
I don't have a bottle opener.
Oh, we had one over here.
Oh, it's right here, man.
Sorry.
Here.
Okay.
Quick, the show's not over yet.
Open
Finish it.
Chris, anything from you?
I've got nothing.
All right. Well, thank you. Once again, check us out on our Facebook page or like us. Share the show around, and talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.